Welcome to Title Talk with your host, Drew Wishover, entrepreneur, a published author, and owner of Inspired Title Group, along with his co-host and CEO, Amy Maley. Each week, they offer you some laughs, industry terminology, tips and strategies, along with the occasional real estate professional to help educate you as it pertains to buying, selling, or just plain old homeownership. Thanks for spending time with them. Now, let's jump into today's episode of Title Talk.
Happy New Year, guys. We've made it a couple days into 2022.
2022 is right now.
2022 came in hot.
Woof. Actually, 2021 went out hot.
It did. It did.
Holy Moses. We're all glad to see it leave. We're excited about 2022.
We sure are.
We've got a new look. This is now Title Talk 2.0. We are Inspired Business Group.
We are Inspired Business Group.
My name is Drew.
And my name is Amy.
What is Inspired Business Group?
It is a business group.
Of?
It's our umbrella company. That's the new word we're trying to kind of explain
the
it
parent
as.
company, the umbrella company.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is that you want to call it, it's the mothership.
And I think it kind of, erupted from the idea of, development being such an important part of business group and title being such an important part of business group that instead of, devoting all our time and energy to doing all these give backs with just a title company or just a development company, we're like, no, it's not. It's everything. It's both companies. So we kind of started to use business group as, so if you hear Inspired Business Group, it is still the same people. It is still the same meaning. It's still the same everything, except business group is all encompassing of currently just development and title.
Right.
Who knows what the end of 2022 might have in store for us.
There are some things in the works.
There is.
To add to that business group. So yes, as Amy so greatly described, Inspired Title, Inspired Development are a part of Inspired Business Group. And this Title Talk 2.0, we didn't want to just specifically concentrate on just title. We wanted to share all of our businesses and what we're doing and talk about both, being the development company and what's going on in that industry as well as the title industry as well. So stick around for fun things like that, and we'll talk some more about that as the weeks ahead.
As the year progresses.
Absolutely. Let's jump into something that we've done before, something that we continue to do.
It's something we can't get rid of.
Exactly. We like to do it.
I love this too much.
Some fun facts.
Some fun facts.
Why don't you give it a shot, Amy?
Number one, today is National Bean Day.
Ooh.
We will not be celebrating that in the company because we will gas it out very quickly.
Beans, yes, not for me, thank you.
It is also National Cuddle-Up Day.
Oh, that's cool.
This could be with your favorite pug that's at home watching with you. It could be with your favorite cat that gets sick when you get sick, like Brittany learned.
Sure.
Or it could be, with that special someone that you have at home.
Yay.
It's also National Shortbread Day.
Ah, nice.
Are you a shortbread fan?
I do like the Girl Scout shortbread cookies. I do. Indeed.
So, indulge, have a little. I found out you can freeze shortbread dough too, and you can still pull it out and cook it.
Another fun
Bake
fact that you didn't even charge them for that one.
That was a fun fact.
That was free.
And finally, it is National Technology Day. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this right now because you're going to hear on later what we do with technology. So it is National Technology Day.
Absolutely. Good job. That's fun stuff
right there. Just a couple
there.
little fun facts for you guys.
Here's a couple more to add to her fun facts. We'll keep the fun facts rolling.
Fun facts on the fun facts.
So I'll talk a little fun facts about construction. The average age of the construction worker is 42 years old. What would you guess?
I was going to say like 38.
Okay, you weren't that far off.
Was my kind of.
Yeah, 42 years old. And more importantly, 25% are women.
Girl power!
That number is increasing. It was like
I love that.
In 2015 or 17, it was like 9%. So now it's up to 25%.
Because girls are badass.
It's crazy. That's good. Good for you guys. That's that's good stuff. Going back to the average age, this is also part of that same fun fact. There's a problem with like the younger generation coming in. There's not a lot of younger generation coming in because they don't feel that it's an industry that they can make a lot of money. They don't see it as an industry that is going to kind of be here for a long period of time. I'm telling you
Which
right
is
now.
insane to me.
I'm telling you right now, the youth of America, go swing a hammer, go do electric, go do heating and air
really
conditioning.
freaking fun.
I'm telling you, the amount of money that these guys are making, and I only know that because I pay them, is a big number. Okay, so get out there and get into the trades. It's a great industry.
Do you think it's that people kind of shy away from the physical labor kind of thing, like being outside when it's cold and?
I mean, the elements certainly have, maybe some factor on it, but I really think that from the statistical point of view, they were just looking at it as an industry that goes, well, gee, there's no longevity in it. It's not sustainable.
People, it is.
Yeah, I'm building
Development will be around forever.
Yeah.
All day.
I mean, it's crazy. All day. So, and then the final statistic is, or the final fun fact I have here is the most popular name by the people who bought homes in 2020. Now, this isn't last year.
Most popular name by people who bought homes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the millennials. Give me one. Give me one popular
like
name.
home buyers.
Yeah, the home buyer's name.
Male or female?
Yes.
Either. Are you gonna guess? I was gonna let you guess.
I'll tell you one. Dylan. Dylan is one.
So that means these kids were born 25 years ago?
Yeah.
20,
Or
25
so,
years ago.
yeah. I mean, so the
Bella.
Bella is not one. Chelsea.
That's surprising.
Chelsea is a name.
Huh.
Ashley?
Austin.
Close.
Okay, start with an A. That's good.
Give me another letter.
A.
Amy.
Alexandra.
Oh.
And yours is Ami. And the last one is Taylor.
Taylor for a boy or a girl?
I think Taylor is like, Pat. It could be boy or girl, right?
Pat.
It's like Pat.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy, right?
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah. There you go.
I like those.
There's my fun facts for 2022.
Fun facts.
All
They were
right.
fun. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're
Uh-huh.
moving into segment. Oh, wow.
The Title Talk 2.0 giveaway.
This
So-
is awesome.
We came to tell you that you can now get compensated
You
for
get
watching
compensated.
Title Talk. So what we are going to do is a monthly giveaway. In order to be entered into this drawing, you have to comment on a video the day it's aired. So you
Not
have
just hi or anything. Yeah,
I mean,
just,
it's, give us a like does not count.
Okay. All right. You gotta
You
put
gotta
comment
give a
out there.
hi, you gotta give a how are you gotta give a can you talk about this? So we are now live. So if you comment now, like right now, like write something in the comments right now.
Write it. Here you go.
You
write.
will be entered for the January 2022 giveaway. And we are also going to air this show again at 6:30 tonight. So if now is not a good time for you to comment if you're supposed to be working, pop on again at 6:30 when we re-air this, comment then, and you will still be entered to win.
I think I like it.
Some kind of coffee giveaway to start the year.
Absolutely.
We're doing some kind of
We're giving
coffee,
away-
something for you.
Yes, it's something we love. It's something that is.
We live on coffee
oh
here.
my gosh! It's as the inspired business kind of lead guy here, and my influence of coffee kind of spills down to the team. But it's good that the team already liked coffee coming
Cheers.
in. So yes, I've got my inspired mug down there that.
I used mine yesterday.
so-
It was dirty.
Yeah, they're great.
Of course, Ryan. Ryan's the first one.
Ryan is.
Yes, Ryan.
I mean, Carol always says good morning.
Yeah. Hey, all right, our first woohoo of the year. Nice job, Aim. All right.
Love it.
So go ahead. We're gonna get you guys registered. Make sure you guys comment and give us a thumbs up, a hello, a how you doing. Let's talk about this or that. So remember, the giveaways start now. They're gonna go all through the year. We're gonna have all kinds of different fun surprises and different opportunities for you guys to get involved in the show. So awesome job, Aim.
That is
Good
fantastic. This
explanation.
is so exciting.
I'm looking forward to this
I'm
giveaway.
loving this circle above my head
Yep.
too. It looks
Yep,
fantastic.
this is our new backdrop, which is our new logo and theme that we're working with. Actually, the logo, we'll have to blow that
I
out
got to
next
spend
year.
like another 9 hours working on another logo. That's how my 2022 started. No, but it's good. It's really good. This is exciting, chaotic,
It's great.
cool stuff happening in
Yeah.
this business.
Lots
I'm
of
really
movement,
excited
lots of growth. We're excited to share it with you guys, and we're thankful for you guys to be here with us today as well. So moving on to our next segment. This is something
Positive vibes only, people.
we really talked about this in a lot of our production meetings and wanting to kind of continue going forward with regard to positivity and working with people and surrounding ourselves with people who are of the like, and positivity and energy and inspiration and all of the things that we stand for, our core values. I think that your positive vibe segment really fits in well with this. So give them some positive
Perfect.
vibes.
So I decided to start out my 2022 first positive vibe go around with, why is it so easy to hear and see and feel negativity, but the positivity is kind of hard to come by?
Oh, it's great. That's great. Look forward to this.
People start setting New Year's resolutions and all that fun stuff.
Boom.
Like lose weight, stop eating French fries. To be honest, I'm not going to lose weight probably, and I'm going to keep eating French fries. But what I do have 100% control over is adapting how I think. So I'm just going to go into a little bit of that.
Good.
All right. I am blaming the human brain for the everyday struggle that people hear the negative so loud and the positive barely at all. Cognitively, we've evolved to have what's called a negativity bias. You heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
The result is that our brains don't average, add up, or net off positive and negative stimuli, but consistently favor the bad and suppress the good. So the whole is more negative than the sum of its parts. It is why you can get an awesome performance review at work, but later feel like a failure, because you're obsessing over that footnote that says areas for improvement. It's why past traumas still haunt you, but joyous memories are often elusive. It's why you can spend a whole week having polite interactions with strangers, but on Friday night, remember only that one driver with road rage and tell your family that you had a craptastic day. Overall, we lose a lot of harmony, happiness, and health because our cognitive system is rigged. Think about what we hear on the news and what is a lot of social media. Purposely accentuating the negative while barely spending time on the positive. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, and a lot of that is, talking about the negative things that are happening in life. And thanks to our stunning cognitive abilities, we keep inventing technologies, speaking of, to make our rigged system even more effective at being negative. Personally, whenever I spend too much time on social media, I find myself pulled into what I call the vortex of negativity. Sometimes you carry on the bad vibes into real relationships in real life because it seems easier to do so. The bad news is we cannot outrun evolution, and technology won't go away. The good news is that we have the option of awareness. The first step is to simply notice our negativity bias, label it, and interrogate it. So this won't go away on its own. It's something you have to force yourself to do.
Very good.
A lot of dark thoughts drain away just while you're doing that. Observing that mental chatter and letting it evaporate. And it's called being mindful. Or what about scheduling 5 minutes a day or an hour a week to pause and consciously evoke a good memory from your past, or think about how awesome of a situation that you're in with the people that are around you. Remember that the brain processes negative stimuli more readily than positive. So if we want to adjust the asymmetry, at least partially, we have to intentionally dwell on the positive sometimes.
Very good.
The end.
Very good. Very good.
Take some time, think about the positive, let the negative slip away, but you have to give your brain some time to actually think about, notice, and accept the positive.
No, that's awesome, and unfortunately, in everything you say there, the negativity is more controversial than the positivity.
It's even
There's
like
more
after
things to talk about.
After I texted you that yesterday,
Yeah.
like when we were talking,
Yeah.
I was just like, it's so true
Right.
of what life is right now. That you could have 500 great things happen to you in a day and some really great conversations, but your brain just keeps thinking about that one really crappy thing that happened that keeps,
Right.
you keep weighing on. So,
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very great. Very great. Nice job.
Tengu.
So, I have a segment that I like to call motivational minutes. And the kind of track record that this has led to is some storytelling, some sharing of some moments and times that you think and just stopping moments. So I have a story here that resonates. It may resonate with you guys. It may capture your attention, and it definitely is something that is allowing you to give a moment to stop and think. We all have these moments of needing to slow down. So, as a young businessman, I was driving a car down the neighborhood roads. Admittingly, a bit too fast in my brand new BMW. I was waiting for kids. I was watching and watching for kids kind of darting in and out between the parked cars, and then I would slow down whenever I would see them. As I proceeded, no children appeared. Instead, a brick smashed into the side door of my BMW. I slammed on the brakes, and I backed up to the spot where the accident had happened. I jumped out of the car, I grabbed the nearest kid, and pushed him up against the car and began shouting. What was that all about? What are you doing? Who are you? What's your problem? This is a brand new car. That's going to cost a lot of money to get fixed. Why'd you do this? The young boy was very apologetic. Please, mister, please, I'm really sorry. I don't know what else to do, he pleaded. I threw the brick because no one else would stop, as tears were rolling down his eyes and off his chin. The youth pointed to a spot that was just around the corner up ahead. It was just around the corner, just up ahead, some parked cars. It's my brother, he said. He rolled off the curb and he fell out of his wheelchair. I can't lift him up now. Now sobbing, the boy asked if I would help get him in the chair and get him back comfortable. He's hurt and he's too heavy for me to pick up, the young boy had cried. I was moved beyond words. I tried to swallow the rapidly swelling lump in my throat, so I hurried over. I lifted the handicapped boy back into his wheelchair. I took out a handkerchief and I dabbed all of the fresh scrapes and cuts on his body. As I looked back at the little boy, I said everything was going to be okay. Thank you, and may God bless you, sir, said the young boy. I was too shook up for words. I simply watched that little guy push his wheelchair-bound brother down the street as he headed back to their house. It was a very long walk back to the car. The damage was very noticeable, but I never bothered to repair that side door. I decided to keep it to remind me of this message. Don't go through life so fast that someone has to throw a brick at you to get your attention. See, in life, in your life, God whispers to our souls and to our hearts. Sometimes, when we don't have time to listen, He has to throw a brick at us. So when you think you're having a bad day, when you think nothing is working out for you, think again. Because some people have it harder than you do. There is my motivational minute.
True story.
It's a true story.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty insane.
So, yeah. The realities of what we do in life and how fast we go on and how quickly we just take things for granted, right? And, we all have these stopping moments, and these bricks are these stopping moments. We talk a lot about bricks in our business and things, and unpacking the bricks out of our backpacks and stuff. Here's a brick that this young boy took out of his backpack and just hucked it, and it was his way of kind of getting attention to say, I need help. Nobody else is, seeing what's around to even some help. So, yeah,
It's
those
crazy.
are crazy times that we live. But hope you guys enjoyed that little bit and some positive vibes and some motivational minutes. We like to bring this to you guys to just kind of, again, share a little bit about us and talk about the positivity that's going on in the world. There's so much negativity, and you can find it with greatest of ease, but you don't seem to find some of the good stories and the positive stuff that's out there. So
Go out of your way to look for that positive
Yep.
sometimes.
absolutely. I heard today was Technology Day.
Today is Technology Day.
Outstanding.
So
Do you want to
we're
talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it a little bit. So we're gonna take the next couple of minutes to kind of volley what technology means for both of our companies. Should we start? Want to start title or development?
Go ahead. You got it.
Okay, so I think one of the things that made technology progress so fast in the last couple of years for development is actually COVID.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
A huge thing that I've noticed it kind of affecting is listing homes.
Mm-hmm.
So when, rewind 3 years ago, you kind of would put your house up for sale, you'd snap a couple pictures of it.
Right.
And when people really wanted to see it, they would schedule the showing.
Right.
So then COVID kind of came around and people were like, I don't want to be walking through all these strangers' houses unless this is a house that I really want to buy. Like, what else could we do for it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is when I feel like there was a huge influx of drones. I feel like everybody
Yep.
and their mom started to buy
Yeah.
drones, and so what the technology allowed development to do was to be able to sell homes like you were actually walking through these houses without actually being in these houses. They did
Like virtual.
the 360 spots, I think they called them.
The teleport.
Teleport,
the
yeah.
Metaport.
Metaport,
Yes.
that's what it was.
Yes.
So like you were able to click on these dots through a house.
Yes.
It would be like you were actually walking through the house without actually being there.
It's crazy.
Because people didn't want, like I said, until you were for sure about a house.
Wow.
People were buying houses without ever
Sight
stepping foot in
unseen.
them because of how far technology had progressed. And like I was talking about joking with that drone footage,
Right.
like you could see the roof, you could see every part of that house from every angle, just like it was nothing. So I think that that part of the listing of houses I've noticed a huge growth in the last couple of years. The other cool thing that I've been spending a lot of time doing is messing around with finishes.
Mm-hmm.
The way these websites are able to, you're able to upload a picture of your house, you're able to try out any color paint, you're allowed to try out siding, you're allowed to try out bricks. It's like you're building a house without actually building a house.
Crazy.
So you can kind of, right?
It's absolutely amazing. Too.
Like I said, rewind 10 years ago, you would kind of just say, this brick looks good, that siding
Mhm.
looks good, and hope to God it looks good when it's at the house.
Right.
Now you have the ability to kind of build this entire house without building a house.
Yep.
Like I said, I've gotten lost in that wormhole of decorating houses on the side.
That's just it. I mean, I think that for the do-it-yourselfers, I mean, that's a great little tool. But fast forwarding that into the industry of what the technology is doing for the population and,
Yes.
and the consumer is great.
It's insanity. And then the last thing I'm going to touch on for just a couple seconds is the innovations to produce durable, stronger, and lighter home improvement products.
Yeah.
It's just like when you look at houses that were built, in the 80s and the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
compared to houses that are built today, it's like night and day as far as, laminate flooring, as far as new
Sure.
hardwood, as far as just the modernization of products.
Well,
in
even
general.
just the development, product development for sure, but even the technology development in regard to structures. And you've seen through the rehab process when we gut a house and we tear stuff out,
Mhm.
you see what the old construction used to be.
Do you remember what house was that? I think that was 628 that had that electric. Do you
Right.
remember that?
Right.
I don't even. It was probably built in the 50s. I had no idea what it even was. Way before my time.
Yeah. So I mean, the things you discover and the evolvement of time.
The lath and plaster that we were looking
Lath
at.
and
in there?
plaster.
Like-
Now it's obviously it's drywall.
Yes.
A 2x4 back in the day was literally 2 inches by 4 inches. Now it's one and 3/4 by 3.5. So
It's
I mean, it's totally different as to how the technology has evolved.
And I think it's cool about like this sustainable home thing,
Right.
kind of like, fast forward. I think they're now starting to reuse concrete.
Right.
Like I think fast forward 5 years, you're gonna see the growth in technology and, product of construction just keep evolving and
it does.
changing and
It does.
yeah, so it's been,
And that's not even to touch on like the modular homes that are being done and put together.
oh my god,
I mean, they're literally building these homes in a factory.
prefab, yeah.
They're perfect.
Yep.
And they literally come out to the construction sites and they drop them
Plop,
on
plop,
there.
plop.
It's a matter of just a handful of days of putting this
Like a
thing
puzzle.
together.
Yeah.
So you can go and pick your finishes and do the entire home design and build, and they build it off-site in a climate-controlled environment, and they deliver it, they drop it on the home site that you pick, and they assemble this thing in a handful of days, and it's boom, done.
It's insanity.
I mean, I think that's the wave that this is starting to go.
And I think it's like for companies like us, I think it's going to be hard to like compete with some of that stuff, but it's a challenge that we're looking forward to. And even we noticed, we went out to Indiana to kind of look at the progress of our house
Yeah.
at the end of last week, and how quickly some of these houses are getting, are popping up because of having that what is it, prefab?
Yeah.
And they could put up 8 houses in
Right.
3 months because you're cutting 8 of the same things of everything, and they just go
Right.
up so fast. I hope not to diss any of that because that is definitely one way to do this work, but I never want us to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the coolest parts about Inspired Development is we are so hands-on with designing the house, picking finishes of the house, and it's you're building a custom home. It's not.
And there's your difference.
Yeah.
So it's custom homes versus, and not to say that the prefab and the homes that are pre-assembled can't be custom, because to a degree
For
they
sure.
are. But like you said, we're building them on the job site from scratch. These are not built in a factory or in a in climate controlled environment.
And there's one of them.
Mhm.
Like there's one specific house, and we talked about taking our plans and redoing them, but there will never be 2 identical houses. It's either, and we joke around that every time he builds a house, he's like, oh, we could have done this and probably would have liked it better.
Right.
So as we were standing on the first floor watching these
Yeah.
2x4s, 2x6s go up for the outside, anyways.
Yeah.
He's like, when I build this house next, this window's gonna go here and that door's gonna go here. I'm like, can't you just watch the house get built? Stop talking about how you're gonna change it. Stop talking about next time around. Just
Yeah.
watch this beautiful.
That's the involvement, though.
I know,
That's
I know,
the
I know,
growth,
I know.
And that's why we enjoy doing it. And
I'm buzzing you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the process. Don't
Yes.
change the process.
Yes, and that's great, because I think that, to your point, when my vision of what Inspired Development was gonna be was kind of, build a handful of houses a year, and that's what that is. It quickly evolved to more of a customized home building because of the price points and then the lumber costs
Yes.
and the varying in different challenges that we've kind of been up against. So now we've just kind of found ourselves in a different bracket or category, if you will. But I think everybody looks for that quickness, that speed, and I mean that segues perfectly into this title technology stuff. It's all about how quick. I mean, think about the internet. We first started off with dial-up, and you made that awful, god-awful noise of.
And then it's it takes 3 minutes to connect and then
Exactly.
disconnect. Oh my gosh.
And then all of a sudden,
I do not miss
boom,
it at all.
we dealt with that. And now it's just almost instantaneous, and it's still not fast enough. So the closing process is very similar. It's
Your sister said hi to you.
things that we want to do to get quickly and get on the. They just want to win the prize. They don't really. They're just out here for
Well,
the
so
prize.
what's gonna happen is they're gonna
Tell
keep,
Lindsay and Melissa they don't qualify.
no, they qualify because then they're gonna watch it next week and the week after and the week after. So then their name's gonna get put in here 4 times.
Right, and I still won't.
So
pick
keep watching week after week.
I still won't pick
One
it.
is not enough.
So, the technology in the industry of title has become very similar to what development was with regard to COVID. We had to adapt quickly and make some changes and do some things on the fly. Well, those things I'm telling you are here to stay. The remote closings, the mobile notaries, the signing online. I mean,
E-docs, yeah.
there's so many things there's so many tools that are at your fingertips that you can utilize through the process of the real
Dude,
estate
the internet
process.
is such an amazing thing.
If done like anything else,
Like-
if used correctly. It's also a very negative thing if used improperly.
Right.
The e-signing services, the ability to do. back when I started in this business with
In
regard,
1917.
we had to wait a handful of days because either via mail or things were sent faxed.
Or like you talked
or-
about having to like go down to the courthouse to actually pull these documents
I
that
would
we
literally
get
go
online now.
to the Cook County Recorder of Deeds and see some of the records and have to actually do some of the searches out of the track books because they didn't have a system in place like now everything's electronic. Everything's delivered, everything's at your fingertips.
Not before 85 though. That's
Yeah.
still a process.
And again, the reality is it's all about speed. It's about quickness and proficiency. Inspired Title does that well. Inspired Title has many different eyes that are able to see each other's work to kind of look and check back. But technology the thing that is really holding back this thing from just booming into an absolute speed blast is the lenders because they still want wet signatures on the note and the mortgage, and I totally understand that.
I was going to say you have
because
to
of the fraud
respect
that's
that.
out
Yeah,
there, right?
absolutely. A bazillion
So-
percent.
A lot of other things could be electronically signed, and again, be careful with some of that stuff because as much as we talk about the greatness of technology, that also increases and enhances the ability for fraud, and we've had conversations about that.
Oh, yeah.
We've done different shows about that, but the more technology happens, the more.
Encryption, that was like something that's
Yep.
become huge this year, I feel like.
Yep, when we send wire instructions, it's absolutely self-encrypted,
Yes.
and this way it can't be stolen in the
Lender
interim.
portals, that's been such a huge thing too that is kind of, some of our team members hate responding to emails through that, but
It's hard.
it's so nice that it's such like a safe place. I'd much rather upload documents and like
Right.
sensitive documents through these portals rather than.
Totally, yeah, totally.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
And no,
cut
it's
it in.
fine. And also know that the consumer in title is the one that is the protected party. So all of these state and government agencies are trying to protect the consumer. A handful of years back, they put TRID in place, and TRID is nothing more than giving the ability to have 3 days to kind of before you close to see things that are happening and seeing things that are your closing figures, and you have knowledge of what's happening. Before TRID, it was here's your bottom line, wire the money and let's close this deal.
Yeah.
Now you get a chance to look in and go, wow, that's a lot more than I thought, or gee, that I have some questions. So the consumer is very protected in any new changes in laws that go into place with regard to the title industry are very, very kind of scrutinized for the making sure that the outcome is beneficial to the consumer.
Mhm.
It's not to the businesses. It's hey guys, we're going to implement these things and it's going to benefit the consumer. And does it typically add more work and more things? It does, but we adapt to that. We're okay with that because again, we're trying to protect the masses.
Yes.
It's not about
100%.
the individuals. So the title industry is never changing or ever changing.
Ever changing.
It's constantly.
Just as soon as you get comfy with what you're doing. just
And
leave.
construction too. I mean, from the simple things of the price of lumber going up and the products and having to create different methods and ideas on how to kind of sidestep that.
Yeah.
Because that's what's great about the American way. The American people are
America.
creative and they just don't stand still. They look at something and go, that's an obstacle, how can I get around it? And sometimes it's devious,
Yes.
right? Especially
yes.
in the title industry, we look at it and go, no, that's not okay. That's not allowed. However, there are the creative opportunities of going around. There's technology that is created to help kind of handle it and overcome those obstacles as well.
I was just chuckling yesterday at one of the Eileen we work with all the time.
Yeah.
Christine ran into my office and was like, these people on Thursday decided that they're going to do something, so I need to, could you find this deed for me? And like, my brain just like warped back. Like,
Right.
what would happen 20 years ago? Yeah, I can get that deed for you in a week and a half.
Right,
Like, it's
right.
just, it's crazy that like
But
something
people weren't as ramped up and saying, I need it now.
Dude, everyone is just in fast forward all the time right now. I feel like.
That's why I said slow down. Everybody needs that brick. Everybody needs to take that breath and go, I'll get it. It's gonna get done. It may not be done in the next 3 minutes. And I am the epitome of this, okay? There is no doubt that I am probably the biggest, I don't know,
How about now? Is it done yet? Did you do that? The thing I told you about 12.2 seconds ago. Is it done now? How about now? Ready now.
Okay, so we move on. What else you got on the development side? Anything else?
That was
about-
it. I think I touched
Good.
on all the big parts I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, the really technology is a big piece of both of the businesses that we do, and really being involved and staying ahead of them is what we want to do. We are constantly going through educational
Yeah.
things. We're constantly trying to just see what's out there in the industry to help us grow and help benefit you guys as the consumer and the client, because at the end of the day, that's what attracts you to using not just these pretty faces that sit here in front of you on Thursdays. It's really the efficiency and the ability for us to do what we do and do it as great as we can do it for you guys. So technology is part of life. It's what we do.
I'm glad today was National Technology Day.
Yeah.
That was cool to be able to talk to you guys about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something we haven't really touched on. So we kind of just did, and if you have some questions about it, if you want to know some more things about it, give Amy or myself a call. We're happy to chat
Should
about it. So
email?
that's good
Technology.
stuff. Technology.
Emails.
Email us. That's a great thing.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
Finally!
Here we go.
We've been talking about Feed My Starving Children for a good chunk of months, and it's happening tomorrow.
I'm so happy for this too.
We are having a nice, fun team morning to Feed My Starving Children. So, whose idea was it to give you some background on this? One of them two, Brittany or Drew, that thought would be a good idea to give you guys a little background.
Probably our producer, our crack producer.
Brit.
She's great.
She's not crack.
No, crack is not. Crack is on top of it. You know, again, there's your next
Anyways, so we
interpretation.
decided to give you guys a little background on what Feed My Starving Children is. Founded in 1987. Brittany, were you born?
No.
Oh my God.
Me neither. Were you?
30.
By a man named Richard Proudfit.
Aww.
So what Richard did is he went to the Honduras after a hurricane, and he noticed, the decimation of what was happening there, and decided that he wanted to do something about it. So Feed My Starving Children came out of that experience for him. So what you do at Feed My Starving Children is you pack effective nutrients into these bags, and they send them to, so far, over 70 countries.
Wow.
They've sent these meals to.
great.
Some of these to the Caribbean, Africa, Asia, the Middle East, North America, and Central America.
So
And,
great.
because he saw these kids dying around him, and he wanted to do something about it. So he took that as a calling to him to do something. So in 2020, every day they fed 1 million children. Every day.
Every day.
Every single day in 2020.
Every day, people.
And this food that they were making were going to schools and orphanages, medical sites, different kind of feeding programs to make sure that these kids that needed something were getting something.
That's great.
Feed My Starving Children is affiliated with 78 different partners, and they work in 58 different countries. So we're lucky that Illinois has one just, up in near Naperville.
It's Aurora. Yeah.
Aurora, yeah.
Glad to be going.
So this Richard Proudfit died at 88 years old, so he had a long life of helping people out. So with Feed My Starving Children, he had another program called Kids Against Hunger, and they together these two endeavors
Mm-hmm.
feed 1 billion people annually. And it goes to show you that what one person's vision could lead to saving these lives of these kids, because when you, I don't know if listeners, if you've been there before, but they show these pictures of these kids and what they're going through, and they tell you the amount of kids you save by what you do with your own two hands, and it's just a really strong, amazing place to be. So hopefully we'll be able to get some footage in our hairnets and our
Can't
masks
wait.
to make sure.
We'll have team photos. I'm sure we'll do some fun stuff tomorrow with some TikToks. I mean, I'm sure Brittany is going to be on top of all that. She's
Did I
awesome
miss
with that
anything,
stuff.
Britt? Did
That
I
was
hit
very,
your?
very, well spoken with regard to what it is, and if I can just add that the excitement and joy that this kind of opportunity brings as a business owner to have a team outing that is not necessarily about us.
Mhm.
It's about somebody else, and this is what I really am proud of is stepping outside and not making it about us. We go on team building outings, and we do some fun things together, but then this specific team building outing is about somebody else, and it's much greater than
Something
us.
so much bigger than us.
It's so much greater than us.
And to be a part of that, it's a super cool thing.
It really
we were
is.
confirmed. Sent an email back to me yesterday that
Great.
said we are set and ready to go.
So tomorrow morning, we will be out in Aurora and wearing our fancy hairnets and looking great and interacting with some more
Brittany,
good people
you
out
do
there.
have to wear a hairnet. I'm just telling you.
No.
They look like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Oh, it's
like
fun.
that.
No,
It's great. It's
I've
fantastic.
done it before. Carol and I have been a part of it through
Yeah.
some church organizations, and it is very, very humbling, and it is just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. This is number one of many opportunities to come. I mean, this
It's going to be a big year.
the year just started, and
It started.
I'm so excited to kick off with the Inspired Title Giving Back to
Inspired business giving back.
Inspired Business Giving Back. Thank you for correcting.
Don't forget about my development over here.
Feed My Starving Children is the one right out of the gate. We definitely have some more in the works. Remember, don't forget to also just chime in. Just drop your name if you guys are just tuning in now and listening. We're doing a little giveaway where you have to just drop your name in the little comments box there and let us know that you're around and say hello.
And you're still awake?
Whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, you know, we're on all the different channels now, so we're getting bigger than our heads are. And I think that
I have a
the
tiny
more you get the opportunity to drop a comment, the chances of you winning a fun and great prize are out there. So there's, you know, people have been replying, and we appreciate that. Unfortunately, most of them are Brittany's family, and we don't necessarily, you know, feed family. But anyway,
It's your family too.
I got one member out there. It's
Two.
Okay. Well,
3 actually.
did Christopher reply?
Carol, Ryan, and Courtney.
Okay. All right.
So
Well,
it's not
equal.
even.
It's even.
And both
Where's
of
your
you.
family at for the
I'm
record?
going to be. Floyd's working.
Okay.
Roseanne's not allowed to be on her phone. Joe doesn't have Facebook.
Okay.
My brother doesn't have Facebook.
Does he have YouTube? Does he have Twitter?
Right.
No, he does not. He has LinkedIn because he's an old flirt. I'm going to be asking both of you one good thing that happens from now till next Thursday, so that we are all going to start our positive thinking, positive.
Perfect. Okay.
Speaking positivity. And just a super quick shout out to Homes for Heroes. We are currently working with another Homes for Heroes closing that we are
Yes.
dealing with,
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
don't forget that we are still affiliated with them. And then hopefully next week we'll be able to give you some insight into more exciting things to come. We do have a special guest coming next
Next week?
Thursday. Don't say it.
Next week we do?
Next Thursday.
Wow.
We have a person that has been on the show in the past that she is just
You gave a lot of it right there.
She's a she, and
She's a she.
She's
Okay,
a,
good.
a sweet person, and I love working with her. I love
Yeah.
seeing her.
One of our
So
favorite people, so we're
maybe
we're
Brittany will
interested
do
in
a
that.
little bit of a shout out early next week.
Yep, building up a little bit of you know, dum 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 dum.
Yes. And
With
besides
Ami
that,
Mali.
I think that's all I got.
That's all you got.
I think that's it.
Wow.
I
You know
do
what,
have
folks?
a quote.
This is fun. I
I almost just got up and started jumping on the couch because this is exciting. I'm trying to start 2021.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the vision for what we're going to do with this show is,
Well, it isn't me, so
what is it be?
Courtney said, "Well, it isn't me."
because you said it's a girl and it's
Okay.
Stop! You're
Yeah.
narrowing it down even more.
However, Courtney, please contact our producer. She would be happy to schedule you for a time on, and I think based on your career, I think that's something that would be really, really great. So.
And she asked another question. She said, "Can people comment when you aren't live and have it count?"
As long as it's on Thursday. I'm gonna say as long as it's on the day.
Yeah.
Then yes, it will count.
Yes, absolutely.
Good question.
That
As
is a
long
good
as you're kind of involved in this Thursday-ness
Right.
of this,
Right.
I'd be 100% happy.
Courtney,
to-
definitely would love to have you back on the show. Do us a favor and please reach out to Brittany.
Or
and
quit your big girl
time.
job and come back with us because I miss your face.
Oh, I
So-
do too. I miss your face, but your big girl job is very cool as well. We'd actually like to hear about it because we can utilize that in the business that we.
Okay, we reached our
work in.
45
So
minutes.
We are on our 45 minutes. So we're winding up. Time is up. That means we gotta go. How do we leave them today?
You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step.
Yes.
Martin Luther King.
Yes, I love that one. I've utilized that before.
Have
That's
you?
a great one. Maybe not, very recently, but how about this one, Aim? Ready?
Ready.
If you fail, never give up. FAIL means first attempt in learning. First attempt in learning. Bam! Bam! Ladies and gentlemen, this is Title Talk 2.0. We are Inspired Business Group. My name is Drew.
And my name is Amy.
We are excited, enthusiastic, and just so
Ready to
so
take on
fortunate
2022.
and blessed to have you guys as our listeners. We're thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Tell your family, tell your friends, share, subscribe to all these things. Get us out there. Let people know there's an opportunity to win some fun prizes. There'll be a lot more fun prizes coming up throughout the year. If there's something you guys want to hear, let us know. Until next week, my name's Drew.
And my name is Amy.
Take care, everybody. Have a great week.
Well, there you have it. That is it for this week's edition of Title Talk. Be sure to head over to our Inspired YouTube page and subscribe and like. And make sure you follow the team on Instagram and Facebook. Join us again next time for more tips and knowledge from the industry pros. Thanks again for listening.